I'm also really interested in your personal spiritual practice. I
Yeah.
My transness for me is a very spiritual thing,
Hmm.
and although I'm not, I don't practice. I don't practice with the tenacity that I would hope, but I know that it's down there. It's down the line for me somewhere.
Hmm.
Um, and I just have. I feel like now being so many years into it, I'm like, my transness isn't really about gender. It isn't about my gender or any gender.
Hmm.
It's it's literally about the being like a magical, spiritual, like conduit between worlds it and having like very important and strong roles to play in community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like that is there has been so many cultures throughout the world and across time where people who are not cisgender
Yeah.
will also play a very powerful spiritual role in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I know so many trans people who are also witches and who are also like, have these alternative spiritual practices. And for me, the way I sort of you know got into that was like a few different things, but I've always been very like wary of organized religion because I like I didn't think that there would ever be an organized religion that would like see me for who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
also like, I grew up in a very atheist household, and
Uh,
all that as well. So there's like many layers on that. But um, I've always felt very spiritual. And when I first started like getting into that, I was like doing some healing from some really intense trauma.
mm-hmm.
And I was like trying all these things to like try to see how I could heal. And the thing that worked the best for me was doing this like energy work with this person. And I didn't understand it, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this works somehow.
Yeah.
um and so then I like started looking into that more, and I met someone who introduced me to witchcraft. And
Mm,
so I started like casting spells, and like what that looks like for me is, it's really, it's a lot like a very focused meditation with a goal,
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
and building energy within myself to like manifest the things that I want to like
Yeah.
have within myself, or like manifest in the world, and then being able to like carry that energy with me into the future. And having that sometimes I'll work with physical objects too. Like I'll make spell jars, um,
Mm,
where I'll like put energy into different ingredients that I'm adding that like represent different things for me.
mhm.
um, and and like more recently I've started to learn about Zen Buddhism more. um, and so my practice was really just like a combination of a lot of different things, but it's really mostly like self-reflection and like meditation, and figuring out like how how I see the world, and like what makes sense to me based on my own experience, and not like not just taking on whatever society is telling me, but like really reflecting on my own experience in the world,
Yeah.
and what that leads me to believe
Right.
about like the way the world works. And so this like this sense of like how important interconnectedness is to me, that comes out of my spiritual practice,
Mm-hmm.
out of like, moments I've had like through that.
Yes. Yes. I find that's very inspiring, and I feel like I'm, just on like a precipice of starting to dive into spiritual practices in my transness. COVID for me has been such a struggle. It's been such a huge challenge.
Yeah.
I feel immensely blocked in so many directions, and there's a level of gentleness that I want to afford myself, but then there's also like I gotta keep going forward. I don't know any other way how, and
Yeah.
there's just gotta be a level of like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And so to hear about your journey in your spiritual practice is very enlivening, because it just helps me to see like what to do next. I'm like, I wanna cast fucking spells. I wanna meditate if I can get my brain to shut up for 2 seconds. Which I know isn't always necessary, but
You know, since I started my meditation practice, something that I've really realized is that I can't get my brain to shut up. I mean, sometimes it just does, and that's nice when it does.
right.
But sometimes it just won't, and that's okay. And at those times when I'm meditating, the meditation is just like, noticing all of the like wild things that my mind is doing,
Right.
and like not judging myself about them,
Right.
and just being like, okay, my mind is going everywhere today.
Yeah, exactly.
Just how it is.